Cool. I'm excited here to have these two goats next to me. Very grateful. LA, we've had a podcast done already together, but today's a little bit different. We're going to talk about a parallel that a lot of people have certain mixed emotions about. But we're going to make some clarity of the difference of understanding it the way we are portraying it versus the way people portray it. Right? And then Southern, my business partner, many parallels. So let's get it going, guys. There's no, I mean, no need to for intro. Everybody knows who the goats are. The goat zone.
Goat zone,
it, right?
Goat zone. Yeah.
Let's talk about this parallel insurance. Southern, what got you into the insurance game? I know we done a podcast too, and then LA, you've been in the parallel for a little bit now, and let's talk about the experiences in the industry and why people have a certain taste in their mouth when they hear that word insurance.
So starting off with what got me into it, I was like backtracking back to network marketing. That's what got me into that entrepreneurial mindset at 18. Couple years of that, I was in college and just something didn't feel right. It's like I didn't really care for school. I was there to play sports. And after the network marketing company I was a part of, kind of collapsed, we were just looking for something different. I knew I didn't want to keep getting the results that I was getting, so I had to do something different, right? One of my buddies called me from Arizona when I was in Illinois. He's like, hey, I found basically network marketing on steroids. That's what he said. He's like, fly down here, let's talk about it. I was like, okay, no questions asked. I flew down. We both went in, had an interview, and with a guy who didn't want to talk to us because we were kids in the game, and he's like, look, you help a family out. This is what pays out on the policy. And everything that clicked to me was just passive income. So I can help a family now and get paid now, but then that family I help now helps my family forever. So it's like that power of passive income is what got me into insurance and what's kept me in insurance for the last 7 years.
LA, thank you.
Of course, man. Different story for me. I've been an entrepreneur for 10 years. My experience isn't as long as Southern here, but I've been in insurance for over a year now, and what really gravitated me was times are changing, right? With businesses failing, with a lot of with my baseball background, I'm a coach, and I have high end clientele, and I see my business is slowly not failing, but struggling, and I'm looking. These are high clientele people with great jobs. And it's just the market, the economy, their business is going down. And guess who are the first people they shut down? They're trainers, they're barbers, they're hitting coach, they're extracurricular activities. I'm like, man, if I don't make a change, we're gonna fail. And thank God I was became a father a year ago. It changed everything, and you guys know that. You guys being fathers as well, you just have to adapt or die. And I got insurance because I'm not saying that we were poor, meaning my family, my immediate family, or my immediate family? Yeah. My family? I don't know. My mom, dad, right? I'm not saying we were poor, but we weren't educated on money, on our finance, retirement, 401k, insurance, life policy, death benefits. We just weren't educated about it. And, I'm very big on we can make that change. If we don't make that change, it's never going to change, right? So, my wife and I, Bianca, we made that decision that we want to be a part of this industry to, one, protect ourselves, protect our son, and really just set that foundation for our son and our future kids and just our generation. And it gives me the chills because
I got the chills.
Yeah.
That is my why in this industry, but now we get to do that for other families.
Generational impact.
I get to relate to people who are like me.
Generational.
Yeah.
Impact. I like that.
That's huge. That's huge on what you said. He said the word economy, right? And in insurance, that's what's so strong about the industry. It's no other industry, and I'll challenge you to prove me wrong. Yes. No other industry is as consistent as insurance, right? Let's look at a graph. The economy is booming. People buy insurance to cover their assets, right? When the economy tanks, people buy insurance to cover their asses. No matter what, people are buying insurance. What runs the world? Insurance. What backs the banks? Insurance. Everything is predicated on insurance because it has to be predicated on stability, right? The only stable industry is insurance, which helps us stem into other branches, yes, but that's generationally protecting your family and the people that you're impacting along the way.
And you know, we've been inclined to follow people that we want to become, right? The wealthy people, whatever success, you know, whatever definition that means to you. But for me, I wanted to be able to set that generational wealth or foundation for my family. So I started studying the people, studying, you know, just wealthy people. And like what you said is insurance just never dies. The Great Depression, the Great Recession, it just never died. You know, insurance never failed in there, right? So if I could get myself in that, if I could educate people in this industry, it's a win-win. You know?
And I want to pick on something you said earlier is education on insurance, right? Everybody has a very bad taste in their mouth because the way they've been approached by it, and they haven't been educated on exactly of the benefits of it. Because the secret of the wealthy, right, is what?
Education.
Education,
but we're talking about the topic. The
education on insurance.
Correct.
And how to leverage insurance.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Leverage. It's all
Leverage
about that.
insurance.
Leverage.
That's the secret of the wealthy.
And who better to leverage than insurance companies
and
worth billions of dollars?
Yep.
You know, since you know you've been in the industry for a short period of time, but the impact you've made and you're about to make, what is the number one resistance you get from people when you talk about it? The experience they had with other agents,
other agencies, money hungry people who really they don't project that care for you and what you can do for your family. And I guess that's my secret sauce. Right? Just I was talking to Alfredo is that's my secret sauce is forget about the income or the money that we will be making, because that is a byproduct in what we do. We get paid for the service, but it's how can I help you? How can I help you with the 2 kids? How can I help you, you know, working paycheck to paycheck? It just doesn't, whatever the reason is. And that's what grinds me. That's what grinds my gears. That's what gets me going.
And then it comes down to the law of large numbers, right? If the numbers we're focused on are just the amount of people we help, by default, that volume will pay us what we want to get paid. As the opposite is not true, if you focus on the amount of money you're getting paid, that'll negatively impact the amount of people that you can impact.
It's like a car salesman, right? When you go buy a car and you can smell them a mile away when they're trying to sell you the car you don't want.
Yep.
The same thing in insurance, right? I mean, people still go buy a car because they have to buy a car, but sometimes they're buying the car they don't want because the salesperson sold them that car. The same thing in this industry. There's people out there selling insurance, but they're selling what benefits the agent, not the person, and they're not actually solving the problem of the person. And that's where people have the bad.
Because they're selling it to them, exactly. And they're not educating them, still finding them the right product, but it's the lack of education on both the agent's behalf leads to the lack of education on the client. And now neither the agent or the client are in the best position that they should be in when that transaction takes place.
And we're going to talk together because we're all business partners here in the same parallel, right? And it's, welcome, LA, to the team. Bianca, welcome. Super excited to have you guys on the team as business partners. And let's talk about what we're putting together. And this is me just letting everybody know that we're not just selling life insurance, right? Because again, that term is very vague and very it's a turnoff word, right? We're actually bringing out the secret sauce, which is we're about to unleash the secret, and it's not even a secret. The reason we say it's a secret, it's kept it's kept away from the masses.
Yeah.
It's only been exposed to the wealthy, which is the secret of the wealthy. And let's talk about this product, right? And it's called infinite banking. If you heard of it, great. If you haven't, listen up, because we're about to share with you something that most people haven't heard about. And you said a word, Southern, how to leverage what the wealthy leverage. And if you want something the wealthy have, do what they do. We're about to share with you what they have and what they leverage, so you could take advantage of it as well. So let's talk about infinite banking. I'm excited because actually this is something I'm super excited, and I'm not passionate about it. I'm obsessed about it.
I love that.
And for me, when I'm obsessed about something, we're gonna shake it up and make notes. So that's what we're about to do right now. So let's talk about how the product works, how it could benefit. It doesn't matter your economic status, does it?
No.
No.
Yeah. Let's talk about
in LA, you can expound on that. It's
the story you just had with, you're sharing with your brother. We could talk about that, but let's talk about, and then we'll get into the story right now. But let's talk about who fits in the category of infinite banking. Anybody? Perfect. And and the reason I asked that question is because people are probably sitting there and be like, well, probably I'm excluded. Nobody's excluded unless you exclude yourself. But let's share the information. Let's talk about infinite banking. So how does it work? Why has it been kept away from the masses for a long period of time? Or nobody has ever taken it to the masses, and we're probably the first group of entrepreneurs taking it to the masses. Either or.
One I would say is, why is it kept from the masses? Well, if we look at society, most good things for the masses are kept from the masses, right? Because we feed on negativity. We're fed negativity and all these bad things all the time. What?
I said bars. That could be in a rap song.
So it's kept from the masses because nobody educates. Like the middle class was uneducated, so they couldn't announce it. And why would the wealthy want to give away their tips and tricks?
Yeah.
Right? They want to keep it for themselves and keep expanding their own wealth. Well, it's as simple as this. And chime in when you want to, LA. It's the reason it fits everybody's economic standpoint is because it's not like the wealthy are doing anything special, or it's because of the amount of money that they're putting into their infinite banking policy, or that makes it available to them. They're leveraging participating whole life, special whole life policies, okay? And to break this down for the people that are going to watch this, there's two main types of life insurance. There's a term policy and there's a whole life policy, okay? A term policy is it starts on day one and it ends on a specific day, 10 years, 15 years, 30 years, okay? And once it's done, it's gone. The other one's whole life, which it starts on day one and it lasts for your whole life. Difficult, I know, life. Right? Ooh. Wow. Let's keep it simple. So that whole life builds cash value, meaning kind of like interest in your bank account. All these wealthy individuals are finding the whole life policies that grow at significant cash value rates, high interest rates, and now they are utilizing that cash value that they're building up instead of putting that same money in a bank, right? If they put that money in a bank account, it's going to grow at what? What's the average? 0.001, which is actually lower than inflation. So they're actually losing money by putting it in a bank account. Plus, we've all seen what happened at Silicon Bank. Obviously, banks can't fully be trusted, right? Now, if they put that same money, regardless of the amount, $300 a month, $1,000 a month, $1 million a month, they put that same money into one of these policies, and now it's going to grow at the average of 7%. Compounding. Okay. And if you don't understand what compounding interest is, Google it. It's going to change your life. Okay. Or click the link below and we'll gladly have the conversation with you about compound interest.
Love it.
Okay. They put that money into these policies. Now their money goes to work for them. And I'll let you jump in now because I love how you explain it and you keep it simple about like the jobs of money, basically.
Yeah. It's like borrowing from a bank, right? You borrow from a bank, you pay the interest to the bank. That's just that one job, right? You got what you got, and then you pay it off, and that's it, right? But what to educate everyone around there, it's infinite banking is giving your dollar multiple jobs, right? Whether it's to save more, to make more, to control your money as well. Control your money, meaning control the interest instead of paying that interest, why not get paid from borrowing your own money, right? So infinite banking is creating your own bank, your own family bank, your own savings account where you take control of it, right? And that's it. It's save money, make money, control your money. So therefore, use your imagination, whether it's your debt, whether it's retirement, whether it's invest in more businesses, whether it's pay off whatever it is. So when people hear that, they start kind of like thinking about their retirement. They start thinking about their cars, their credit cards. They start thinking about their college debt. They start thinking about, if I take this money, invest in this project, I could pay it back. That's where it's infinite.
That's where it's infinite. And that's where that word we come back to, leverage, yep. Right? It allows them to leverage. If I give $100, I don't know if we should name drop a bank. Let's just say the first big bank that comes to your mind when I say big bank, okay? If I give that bank $100 of my money, I can't leverage it. Sometimes I could go to a bank. If I go to my bank right now, let's say I had $100,000 in my bank account, and I said, hey, bank, I want my money today in cash. They're going to tell me no. Yeah. Have you ever if you don't believe me, go to the bank and try to pull out a big amount of money. They're going to say, oh, we can't do that today. What do you mean you can't do that? It's my money, right? You can't even leverage your money if you give it to a bank. What this allows individuals to do, on top of having whole life insurance, meaning protecting you and your family for generations, for your whole life, okay? It allows you to have that access. How quick do you get access to your money?
After 10 days.
After not even 2 weeks, you have liquidity. You have access to that money that's in that policy that you can take out. One of my favorite phrases, tax-free. Okay. You can utilize that money that is yours tax-free to put to leverage towards your credit card payments, towards your car, your house, a new business to generate more revenue. Okay. You are loaning that money to yourself from yourself.
Wow. And so if you put the money in, is it tax-free?
It shields you on taxes when you put the money in. Right? So it protects you on taxes all around. This is why. A whole life policy cannot be touched by taxes. A whole life insurance policy cannot be touched by the government. It can't be touched by debt collectors. It protects you in all these different ways. One, protects you when you die. You have life insurance. But two, it protects your money because it cannot be touched by outside people, by outside sources.
Wow. There it is. That's the difference. Let's talk about the story you were sharing earlier. Your brother, you had approached him a couple months back about insurance policy, and what was his response? A few months back.
And just like what you said is, let me backtrack what you said. No. I mean, it's about some life insurance. By the way, everyone needs it.
100%.
Everyone needs
health
it.
Insurance. Everyone needs it.
It's just the way it's been perceived.
And unfortunately, when you approach someone who's 20 years old about life insurance, it's like, I don't need life insurance. I'm 20 years old. I have no kids. But then someone who's 55 years old, it's like, man, it's so expensive. So it's such it's a weird thing, right? And to a lot of people, it's a turnoff.
Yep.
Right.
Turnoff.
And I'm sure we have a lot of clients, but specifically my brother, we're talking about just $150 to $200 premium, right? Again, he's not wrong for it, but it's he's like, I just don't need it. I don't need it. Like I'm good. And we're just talking about a certain $150, $200 premium to protect his family, his kids. It was a hard sell. It's like, I actually never got it. Months later, we talk about infinite banking, which is the same thing. It's a whole life policy, but we talked about the benefits, not only the benefits of your death benefit policy, right, that he's covered, but it's about his debt. It's about his future business projects that he's always wanted to do. It's about, I think if he were to pay off his debt on his own, I think it was about 4 years on his own. But with infinite banking and the compound interest that he's making, it cut down to 2.5 years.
Wow.
2.5 years that he's going to be debt free, right? So now you take that money that he paid off or that he was paying with his credit cards, his car, his expenses, take that money that he was already spending on his debt, add it to your policy, your infinite banking policy, now you just compound your money. So now instead of a $200 premium 2-3 months ago, that was a hard sell. Now it's about like a $760 premium a month.
Because you helped them solve that problem.
He helped him buy time. He just bought a year and a half back, 2 years back of the time he was going to dedicate 4 years of his life to paying off that debt.
Yeah.
You just bought him a year and a half back of that time to be debt free.
And just like what we said, it's
powerful.
Education, right?
Yep.
First off, $200 is a lot of money, but subjected to one, right? It's a lot or a little.
Yep.
For him, it's like, man, that's $200 I could spend on my kids. I could spend on going somewhere, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But then you educate somebody about the benefits of this. It's only $200. Now it's only $760. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what I loved, and it still gives me the chills, is we're talking about premiums, and he was like, you know what? This one he confirmed. He's like, you know what? Why not? You know what I mean? Like, why not? $760. That's like, why not? And obviously there's a strategy behind it. It wasn't just he pulled 760 out of his freaking under his mattress. There's a strategy. There's a concept behind it where we found where we can find 760. With his credit cards and all that. But it's a strategy. It's a concept within a whole life policy that we're able to do.
Re-explain that one more time of what that concept was.
Perfect.
Where did that 760 come from? Just explain that one more time so everybody watching this can see how anybody can do this.
So what we do with our clients is we find out if they got debt, right? They got a mortgage, they got credit cards, multiple credit cards, college debt, right? Cars, right? Say you're paying $200 with this credit card, $200 credit card, $400, etc., right? And we ask, how much are they paying, right? Well, I'm sorry, how much are they paying on top of that, right? So if your minimum is extra, if your minimum is $200, but you're paying $400 for that, that means it's $200 extra. So we just accumulate the extra money that you're putting in to pay off your debt. Oh, we're not saying don't pay off your debt. We're just saying pay your minimum on your credit card, all your debts, right? Now, whatever's extra, instead of paying extra just to pay off the debt and give the banks their money where you make nothing out of it. You're just trying to be clean.
Because what happens when you pay that card off? What do you have?
A paid off card.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? And actually more money out of your pocket because of the interest. Right? But instead of paying that extra, just take that extra money and dump it or create a policy, a whole life policy, which is infinite banking. Again, infinite banking, it's a concept, a strategy within a whole life policy, right? You got your cash value and you got your insurance, right? And you're dumping or putting money into your life insurance to be able to create that interest. So that's literally what we did. So that 760 isn't money underneath his mattress. It's just money that he was already trying to wipe away his credit cards. Now we're just saying, use that for a life insurance, a whole life policy, and let's wipe this whole debt and still build cash value on the back end. He'll be debt free in about 2.5 years.
So looking at options A and B, which one sounds more appealing? Option A, put all this money extra towards your debt, and when that debt's paid off, you're just debt free, okay, in 4 years. Option B, put the minimum amount of money to your debt, put that extra amount into a whole life policy, and in a year and a half less than option A, you're still debt free, same result, but now you have a whole life policy that's building you interest at tax-free money.
Yep.
Sounds like a no-brainer.
And something about this too is obviously you have a premium, a $760 premium, and within a year you're paying X, Y, and Z, right? But we did the math or everything. In 9 years, he'll be making more money
than his premium. He's getting paid to have a life insurance policy.
So, and this is where it gets exciting is use your imagination.
And how old is he right now?
He's 36.
36. So at 45 years old, 20 years or more under the retirement age, so to speak, he's going to be debt-free. He's going to have compounding interest and a whole life policy. That is my definition of powerful. That's generational wealth or health.
They don't teach you that in school.
Nope.
They don't teach you that in college. It's that's why we're so excited, because it could be about debt. It could be about retirement. It could just like
starting your own business.
Starting your own business, right? There's so much to it, and that's why we're so excited for it. Is because it's for everybody.
It is. I mean, we've been recording all day, and even one of the camera guys
Pulled out a 401k.
he just heard us talking about it, and he's in. He's like, "Yeah, I'm ready." Like,
because it's a no-brainer.
it's a no-brainer. And that's why we're so excited to talk about it, because it's been a kept secret from the masses, but we're going to create awareness to it, and we're going to talk about it, continuously talk about it, create these podcasts, create content for people to get educated on it and make a realization that it's something that it's not that we need. It's not something that we want. It's something that we need, and we'll educate you on how to leverage it. And that's where it's magical. That's the magic, leveraging it. And most people can, and most people should. And in the next 5 years, most people will.
Yep.
And they're going to be coming from us for sure. That's what I'm excited about.
There's, I'm dumbfounded right now because of what you can do, right? And we're talking about the average person, right? Instead of just working, it's like give your money multiple jobs.
Yeah.
Let your money work for you to where you could get out of whatever you want to get out of, to do more, to explore more, to experience more, right? And that's why I'm in this industry. It's to be able to educate, to be able to just give people open another door, right?
Well, let's do it. I'm ready. I mean, the thing is just hearing the information and hearing the stories is unbelievable. And that's why I'm so obsessed with this, because we're going to be able to impact and help so many people.
Absolutely. And for you, if you're watching, if you feel like you have too much month at the end of your money, infinite banking's for you. If you feel like you have a lot of money that you're trying to leverage and grow, infinite banking's for you. Click the link below, schedule a phone call consultation. We'll walk you through how the concept works, show you for your situation, because everybody is different, right? Every situation is individualistic to you. Help your money grow and create that generational wealth and generational impact.
That's it. Thank you, guys.